What did the popular kid at your school do to go from cool to an absolute outcast? He got drunk and killed a family of 4 in a car accident. That's so dark. Killed an infant in a car accident, completely shut down during senior year, wouldn't talk to anybody anymore. I had a cousin who died as a very small child because she walked out from behind 2 parked cars into the street out front of a church. A young man was driving to church and accidentally killed her. He never drove again. Ruined his whole life. Poor guy. Crack. He and his couple friends started smoking crack senior year of high school. They got quarantined to themselves. Ran into one of them a couple weeks ago. He kept trying to get me back to their apartment to do meth. Well, at least he's off the crack. Most popular kid in my middle school was this big Samoan dude. Looked like he was 13 going on 25 years old. I remember he gained a lot of popularity when he serenaded this girl in class to ask her to the dance. He had music playing on his iPhone and he started belting out love songs while on bended knee. Later that year he went from hero to zero when we found out he'd been molesting his sister. Drugs. You're the cool kid in 9th grade if you're smoking weed all the time. You're not the cool kid in 12th grade if you're addicted to heroin. Sent his girlfriend's naked pics to the whole school. Wow. What a scumbag. The worst part of it was the excuse he gave. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to send it to everyone. Just a couple guys from the basketball team. He ended up switching schools. Accidentally left a video of himself sticking stuff up his ass on a phone that he sold to another student. I never saw him again after that. He was popular because he was a rebel that talked back to teachers and insulted them openly. He became an outcast because he made the teacher everyone loved cry. This kid in middle school used to talk shit to everyone. A minor speech impediment. Nobody had ever actually seen the popular kid fight. He just was excellent at intimidation. Now a lot of the special needs kids in my area weren't just students who were mentally challenged. And to top it all off, he even tried running away after the first few punches. Many of those kids came from very tough homes, and the special needs kid who the popular kid messed with was an absolute savage. He grew up in a pretty tough part of town, but was really a gentle giant. He could play football. He was muscular. He could do everything the regular students could do except speak properly. A minor speech impediment. The popular kid challenged him to a one-on-one fight and got his ass kicked by the special needs kid. I'm talking blood everywhere. His clothes got ripped. One of his sneakers landed like 10 feet away. And to top it all off, he even tried running away after the first few punches. The special needs kid grabbed him and pulled him back. It was a massacre. The popular kid not only lost all of his influence, but didn't even have the guts to come back to school for like a week. If I ever saw instant karma, it would have had to have been on this day because he was quiet as a mouse the rest of the years through high school. There was a guy that was pretty popular. He got really drunk at a party and totally didn't know where he was. He pulled down his pants, squatted and totally started to poo-pee. He moved away immediately. He was a senior and I was in 8th grade. That was well over 25 years ago. Well, he friended me on Facebook a couple months ago and I kinda recognized him. I racked my brain and it came to me. The guy who pooped at the party. Poor guy. I mean, is nobody else going to say it? No? Alright. Geez, what a party pooper. Well, the popular girl at my school tried to ruin the life of a really sweet girl because of boyfriend drama. When she realized people were standing up for the sweet girl instead, she lost her mind, accusing the other girl and her boyfriend of property damage, turning on anyone who didn't swear loyalty to her, turning people against one another, screaming at teachers. It was a mess. The nail in the coffin was when she confided in me and to others she was planning to put laxatives in the pastries she baked for the class. Obviously I'll let people know. and she became completely ostracized. She left at the end of junior year. And senior year was the most chill year ever. I don't blame you for letting people know. You can't let that shit slide. Got blamed for a drive-by. Basically, was a star track and field sprinter and jumper as well as football player. Nice guy too. A rather typical jock type. But he got along well with virtually everyone. He was definitely popular because he was extremely athletically talented though. He took the fall for a murder he didn't commit. Almost everyone knew he was innocent. He was not a violent individual. Just tied up with the wrong crowd at the wrong time. Basically, was a star track and field sprinter and jumper as well as football player. Nice guy too. A rather typical jock type. But he got along well with virtually everyone. He was definitely popular because he was extremely athletically talented though. He took the fall for a murder he didn't commit. Almost everyone knew he was innocent. He was not a violent individual. Just tied up with the wrong crowd at the wrong time. He's gonna spend most of his natural life behind bars now. A true shame, he had a bright future. And now he's a physically literal outcast from society. Albeit not deserving. He got drunk and finger banged a sheep at an outdoor party. He spent the next 3 years as the sheep ducker. Edit. Everyone assumes he was Welsh or from New Zealand. This was upstate New York. Joined a gang. Moved up the ranks. Ordered a firebombing of a rival gang member's house. Dude wasn't home, but his 4 little brothers and sisters were. None of them made it out of the house. He'll be in federal lockup until the day he dies. Man, that's ducked up. I was best friends with the most popular guy in school for a couple of years back in middle school. He was great. But the rest of the popular kids, man. They were all cooler than me in my opinion. But he saved me a seat at lunch every day, and we had our own lame handshake and all that shit. But that whole group never felt like it really fit me. Aside from him obviously. So one day at lunch I decided to sit with the nerdy kids who played Magic. Never really got my popularity back after that. And I think I hurt my friend's feelings, because he was never the same to me after that. It was never really my intention to hurt him. But that's not the sort of consequence kids anticipate. Never got a chance to reconnect with him unfortunately. Cancer is a batch, and it took him a few years later. We left him an open chair at high school graduation. On the plus side, I'm still friends with some of the nerdy kids and we're in our 30s now. Magic isn't my thing. But those nerdy kids were great. They taught me that it doesn't matter what others think of you if you love yourself. Hey there. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe.